of the season. But as you were going about calling those names, I was just smiling to myself. Some tongue twisters for you. Bahago and Sandai, you should have said as a Hausa word, the lefty policeman. That literally is what it means. Ramadan, of course, he has taken up the name of one of the months in the Islamic lunar calendar. There's another boxer, Shaban, who has also taken another name in the Islamic lunar calendar. And some of the names are very, very interesting. We have Dogon Messi. Apparently, that person has an affinity with the footballer Messi. He probably loves playing football, likes to call himself Messi, or something of that sort. It would be interesting to find out. If we can, we would. But for now, the boxers and their coaches in their different areas are getting ready. You can see they are greasing their hands so that they can have a very tight grip. One thing I want you to speak about, Kayode, is these boxers are grouped into what you can call houses, and they are separated by their colors. The demarcation is instrumental, and I think the viewers would like to know from you how it's done.
All right, for those of you that are joining that are not familiar with Dambe Warriors, of course we have three predominant houses in Dambe Warriors. We have House Jamus, House Kudu, and of course House Gurumada. You can see, I think this Dan Nigeria, he is in House Jamus. Dogon Messi, of course, also in Jamus. That's why you can see them together. The way they are separated and demarcated is by their houses. Although traditionally, these fighters fight against people from other houses, but because they're in a competition, because it's a league system, everybody fights against each other in their weight class. So we'll see some House Jamus fighter go up against other House Jamus fighters. This traditionally doesn't happen, but in Dambe Warriors League, we've sort of made it a thing because of their weight class. So we'll be seeing some of the same house members going up against each other. Thank you very much for explaining what their names mean. I mean, I didn't mention, but in the lightweight division, we have Garkuwa Kurma going up against Bahagan Zayanu, Altan Kudawa going up against Yarmage, and Aljanin Bahagan Nasarawa up against Manu Garkuwan Chindo. Manu Garkuwan Chindo is of House Gurumada and Nasarawa of House Jamus. What are we looking at in that bout?
Well, the first bout that has been listed here shows that we're going to have the lightweight division in Hausa. That is Aji Mara Sanawi. That means people who are not very heavy, lightweight. That's what we are starting with. Yeah. And you have seen, as you have stated, we have Manu Garkuwan Chindo against Aljani Bahagon Nasarawa.
Yes.
These are the two boxers that are being prepared for what should be the first round. The fight referee, like we have seen here, Garkuwan Chindo, he has a record of 5 for 5. That means he has won all his 5 fights. His weight is about 63.8 kilograms, and that shows you the secret to how they have been separated into the various divisions. By the time we get to the heavyweight division, you discover that they are weighing 69, 70. Very much like in modern boxing, so that there's some bit of equality, some equal, footing for each and every one of them. And I think the organizers have done a wonderful job as they have tried to uplift the rules. And like I was saying earlier on, one thing that's
all right, thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. As you heard him earlier, he was just talking about some of the names and some of the fighters. Manu Garkuwan Chindo actually has 5 wins and 5 losses. His opponent today is none other than Garkuwa Kurma, who won his last bout in Katsina. He is from House Gurumada, and his reach is 5 inches, 5 foot 10 inches. He's from Kebbi State. Currently, he is ranked number 1 and he weighs 64 kg. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at very, very interesting bouts today. My name is Kolade, actually,
Malam Bismillah.
opposite to what he was saying.
The Saudi.
So we're going to be hearing from Mr. Ibn Muhammad, who will be interviewing the coaches of these fighters. Mr. Ibn Muhammad, my partner in the commentary box, but is also going to be our interviewer today. He's gone on. We're looking at one of our judges. Yes, our formidable judge, Chidera Promise Nzweke. We are looking now at Mr. Ibn.
Please move it closer. Yes. Name of coaches. Yes.
So we're looking at Ismaila Danwoodil. One of the coaches getting interviewed now by Mr. Ibn Muhammad. Coach of House Kudu. And that is the third coach, Mr. Ismail Danwoodil.
Akwai garkuwan kurma, akwai yaya tarasa, kuma ba na shekun kowa, kowa ya gada ma ya kawo kansa, insha Allah kowa yau kasa yake da yardan Allah.
Kowa ma ya ce da yardan Allah, wani tabbaci kake da shi?
Ai tabbaci na insha Allah, ai Allah na kira ko kuma an gama kuma na samu da na zo da shi, ai ba gudu ba ja da ba inda bangaren dambe ne.
To shi kenan ya ubangiji duka gare ka kuke. Yan masu koyaswa kowa ya yi magana kuma ya ce yan wasansa, yan dambensa kowa ya shirya. Saboda haka ido mai naci ban baki ba.
Dalla ta ba ku sakwacin nan. Amma yan kallo, dalla wa ya jin daya. Gudu ba ne.
Just heard from all three coaches, the coach of House Kudu, the coach of House Gurmara, and the coach of House Jamus. Now, the host in the building, Darlington, hyping up the crowd here in the UK Bello Theatre. You can see the fans excited, anticipating what is going to be one of the most interesting bouts in Dambe Warrior history. It's still Dambe Warrior Circuit Fight 12, and it's coming to you live from the UK Bello Theatre here in Niger State, Minna. Want to say big shout out to some of our sponsors in the building today: Hero Hunter, Bet Niger, Indomie, Aiko Insurance, and of course Hypo. In the middle of your screen now, you can see our host and the hype man of the day, Mr. Darlington.
Well, Kayode, I'm sure Danliti will prefer to be called simply Danliti or Malam Danliti.
Malam Darlington.
Yes. As we begin to see some more of the boxers, we have seen Chindo here and Bahagon Nasarawa here.
Yes.
A moment ago, I interviewed some of the coaches. They spoke in Hausa from all the three houses: Jamus, Guru Mada, and
Kudu.
And which is the other one?
Kudu.
All of them express optimism that their boxers are fully prepared, and each and every one of them is calling God, give us the glory. Allah, give us the glory. And I asked them, God is for all of us.
Yes. So.
And they said, well, they have prayed and they know that they have a connection with God.
All right.
And I concluded that it is left for us to see. It's left for us to see who God will give the glory.
Yes. Currently, as we look at the screen, we have Manu Garkuwa Chindo, who in this season has just one fight, of course. he lost that fight. Career knockouts, he has 4 knockouts. And of course, his weight 74 kg. His opponent has 1 win, which he got against. Okay, and his opponent is weighing 61 kg with a reach of 5 foot 6 inches. They both strike with the right arm. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 10 seconds left to go as we witness one of Nigeria's best martial arts combat. And it is, of course, between Aljanin Bahaga Nasarawa of House Jamus up against Manu Garkuwa Chindo of House Gurumada.
Kayode, what I'm saying is, in terms of experience, Chindo has more experience.
Yes.
He has had more than 5 fights, or about 5 fights. And Aljanin Bahaga Nasara has only 1 fight, which he won. So he might be carried by the velocity of his win.
Yeah.
But the experience certainly is with Chindo.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're crossing over live to the arena as we see our fighters come. We're crossing over to the arena as we see our fighters prepare. But very shortly, we'll be going on a commercial break, and when we come back, it will be Aljanin Bahaga Nasarawa up against Manu Garkuwa Chindo. Don't forget, it's Dambe Warrior Circuit Fight 12 at the UK Bello Earth Theatre here in Mina, Niger State.
Ina wani mai ke mutu na gani a can koya gudu ne wanda shi yawwa shiga to yau da su uku ne ina ganin ɗaya jamus ba su doya ba ina da mai doya wani ma alwaja alkura to za mu fara to kun sani ko kowa da yau ba takalmanka na suke na kyamara minti uku ne kowane za mu tsaye kallo ya tattala ya kallo kuma da kusa ido kalla wanda ya bi kar ku sa rai kar ku duba wannan gurma ne wannan jamus ne za mu busa mu je 1 babba ba ku duka kowa su fiya yawa a ba ka aje gwiwa kasa ku duka kallo yan kallo wanda ya aje gwiwa kasa ya yi abin nan 1 2 3 press up La ilaha illallah, National Dambe Warriors, power in, power in, power in, power in, power in. Minti uku ne, la ilaha illallah. Wanda ya gaza ya gaza, in kaga ji huta, wa duka huta. In kaga ji ka hwani ka huta, kai tsoho mai ran karfe. La ilaha wancan ya fara wazo, ya fara wazo wancan ba an cire tun daga nan. Tun daga nan an cire shi ku dan kallon mai wazo da oho su biyu ne wancan wazo yake yi su ba yawa ayya a cika balbo a cika oho zai kai yawa subhanallahi a cika oho wannan wazo oho ya fara wazo oho ya fara kalabu la ilaha illallah oho ya fara kalabu subhanallahi wanda kana oho la ilaha illallah to a tsira su don ku ciki jama'a ku tsaya can jama'a wannan shi ne ba shi ba ne wannan shi ne wannan shi ne a tafa to shi ya ci yawa shi ne ya ci ya zai kanu ba wayan kyauta a gyara fili da wuri ga shi nan za a ba shi kyautarsa ta fa wayan wanda fa abinci wanda za ka je ya tilo zo zakiya ai kamar za a sa fito to za a ba shi fa wayan ya je ya ci abinci ya dafa da Allah ta ba wa Warriors.
So subsequently, you have a
No,
program.
ya yi kokari.
Subsequently,
What's AIT showing that people make
3 minutes, 3 minutes countdown.
Shikenan yayi.
Understand? So we know.
Asan da dai.
Understand? Put 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 1 minutes.
we need to be back on live. We are back. If AIT is back on this, coming to you.
Za mu je hutu yanzu na minti kaɗan.
We need to be back. We need to be back. We are back already.
Za a gyara fili, za mu je hutu.
Guys, we're back on you. Guys, we're back on you. We're back on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to Dambe Warriors Circuit Fight 12. It's happening live at the UK Belo Art Theatre here in Niger State, Mina. We're looking at some of our sponsors now, just engaging with the audience. There's Power Oil, doing some event activation. Yeah, and I'm not doing this alone. I have the wealth of experience, the formidable, and the, of course, very energetic Mr. Ibn Mohammed. It's a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. Just before we went on a break, we were talking about some of the names and the meaning. So the first fight that we're looking at today is between I beg your pardon, is between Manu Garku and Chindo and Al Janin Bahagan Nasarawa. One is from House Jamus, that's Nasarawa, and Gurumada House, that's Manu Garku and Chindo. I just want to provide some insights. Nasarawa beat the former champion Zayanu in Katsina the last time out, and Al Janin Nasarawa actually has an advantage because he is from Niger State, so he has some home advantage. But of course, his opponent Chindo lost to Kurawa, so he'll be eager to get back to winning ways. As we look at the rankings currently now, Garkuwa Kurma in first place, Alton Kurawa in second, and the first fighter we are talking about, Altanin Nasarawa in third, and his opponent in fourth place. That's Manu Garkuwa Chindo. And of course, funny enough, the two former the current champion and the former champion, Bahagan Zayanu and Yar Magi, languishing now in fifth and sixth place. So, Mr. Ibn, third versus fourth. That's our first fight. Nasarawa up against Chindo. Wow, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, this is a fight that has no margin for errors. Nasarawa fighting within his environment knows that if he loses this one, he's going to be really out of it. While his opponent, who is one step below him, Chindo, wants to, having defeated an earlier champion, knows that he has to give all that he has so that he can remain in contention. So it's going to be a close fight. None of them will give any quarter, but I can tell you that the experience and home environment will count somehow. I do believe that.
All right, you just had Mr. Ibn Mohammed there. So if anything is to go by, Nasarawa has a home advantage, although with the weather currently in Mina, I don't know how much of the sun will be helping Nasarawa. Maybe just to shine in his opponent's eyes. Maybe Nasarawa is used to the pressure. As we see him step out of the ring there, Manu Garkuwa and Chindo, you can see stepping out onto the arena, getting his energy up, talking to the drummers, inviting the fighters and of course the audience to join him in gyrating and getting prepared for his bout. That is Manu Garkuwa and Chindo. One fight this season, unfortunately lost that fight, but he has 4 career knockouts and he weighs he weighs 74 kg and stands at 5 foot 5 inches. His weight is 5 foot 8 inches, and he strikes with his right fist. You can see him there getting his Kara fist wrapped. The Kara is what is known as the striking fist. In Dambe, you strike with one arm and you defend with the other. You can see Manu Garkuwa and Chindo there getting the ropes tied against around his arm. I beg your pardon, Mr. Ibn. What is the significance of this fist that has been wrapped?
Well, under normal circumstances, the wrapping of the hands they do privately, but I think the organizers have deemed it necessary that this should be done publicly, so that it can be seen that no one has put in any charms or whatever inside, because this is supposed to engender friendliness, good atmosphere, so it will not be allowed for anyone to carry any evil, so to speak. But as we have seen him, he has finished tidying himself up. The drummers and singers behind him, they serve traditionally to make the adrenaline in him, in all fighters, to really ooze in their heads, putting him in a fine fighting mood. Whether that is enough is left for us to see. He has lost one fight. He is looking for redemption now.
Yes. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo finished last season in 3rd place, so he'll be looking to go better than that position. In case you don't know, we have 6 bouts throughout the season, and at the end of each season, whoever is in 1st and 2nd place makes it to the super fight. This year's super fight will be happening in Abuja. This season's super fight, I beg your pardon. So as he mentioned, Mr. Ibn Mohammed mentioned, the Kara Fist has been made public so that we know that these fighters, are not hiding any charms or any harmful objects in their fist. It is clear for everyone to see that he's just tied his fist and with no objects in the fist. His opponent, of course, will be seen join us very soon. If that's him on the screen, we are looking at our opponent, Aljanin Nasarawa from House Jamus, of course, wearing the blue robe with his coach now, getting last-minute instructions from his coach.
Well, Aljanin Nasarawa's coach earlier on told me that he is certain all his boxers are ready. Aljanin Nasarawa, Aljanin Bahago. But strikingly, Aljanin Bahago Nasarawa, there is an appellation there that shows that this boxer ought to be a left-hander. But we can see that he's going to box with his right. So maybe the name is just a name. Whether he will act like a spirit or not, we'll be finding out sooner than later. You can see that his points, he has only 1 point from one fight that he has won. So he is well poised. If he wins, his reputation, of course, will be further boosted. He looks a young man, fine haircut there in that photograph. Whether that's what he's having now, I don't think that's what he's having now.
Well, it looks like he's a bit overgrown right now. Yeah. But yes, he did well in the promotional fight in Nasarawa, actually. Came through the ranks and won his promotional also in the super fight, which is why he has made it in here. Last time out in Katsina, he won his fight, and of course, even though not too experienced, you can tell that from his record, he's not one to be messed around with. Currently, Aljanin Nasarawa is in 3rd place and is going up against the more experienced Manu Garkuwa and Chindo, who is in 4th. But who is going to win at the end of the day, we'll find out in just a few minutes.
Aljanin Nasarawa has just finished taking his psyching music, because that is what that singer and his drummers are doing. They psych the boxers up, with words and history relating to probably their past or relating to a famous boxer that Aljanin Nasarawa or his opponent Bahago Nasarawa, Garkuwa Nasarawa Chindo should imbibe. You can see the drummers lined up, and a commentator once said these singers and drummers could easily send someone to hell.
Interesting. We do hope that the musicians, the drummers and the singers are psyching up the fighters in the right mood. Just to give you a bit of insight, Nasarawa is a pound-for-pound fighter. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo ended his last season mid-table in 3rd position, but he started with a loss. This season he's also started with another loss, but I'm sure he'll be eager to remedy this situation. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo is from House Gurumada. He's going up against Aljanin Nasarawa, who is from House Jamus, who we are seeing tying up his cara now in the UK Belo Art Theatre. The referee there just, giving him instructions as to how quickly he needs to get it done so that the bout can start. I just want to ask you real quick, just your prediction. So as we go into the first bout, Nasarawa up against Chindo, who do you think is going to take it away?
I think prediction is going to be a very dangerous game here, Kola. I think I'll just like to just sit back and enjoy what these two boxers are going to offer. But certainly one of them needs to come out a winner to further his standing on the league. As we see, the Sarauniya, the Queens are going about with the round indication. We are going to be ready for round one in a short while.
All right, the Queens will be getting ready for round one as we see her now just take the signal around. We're getting ready for round one. Remember, it's Dambe Warriors, the most sought after combat sports in all of Africa. And you can watch us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and of course we're streaming live on AIT across 54 countries. Big shout outs to AIT, African Independent Television, getting this traditional sports to more eyes, to more viewers than we can imagine.
Tell Ola say the voice, the music is too loud.
All right, we can see Aljanin Nasarawa now saluting the crowd. His opponent.
One championship. 2024. Next day. Yes, you're good.
Our referee, by the way, caller is Shaban Ahmadi.
Shagan Al-Maji, that's our referee. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn. And off we go. Manu Garku and Chindo in the brown shorts up against Nasarawa in the blue shorts. 10 seconds already gone in the first round. As you can see, Manu Garku and Chindo bobbing around in the arena with a first lunge there by Nasarawa, expertly weaved there by Nasarawa. Chindo lunges their attack, but now they can both be seen grappling as Chindo pushes up away his opponent. Manu Garkuwan Chindo, we know he's a very formidable fighter, got a lot of experience. But Nasarawa again with an attack there. You can see Nasarawa not taking this first round lightly at all, giving it all he's got. You can see a lunge, nice overhand there by Al Janin as he expertly evades the attack from Manu Garkuwan Chindo. Both of them giving it all they got, but there's a lot of movement, a lot of moving around from both fighters as they grapple against each other. The referee having to come in and separate. But Manu Garkuwan Chindo is not letting up at all, chasing Al Janin all over. Honestly, they're doing their best right now to just stay on their feet as we see Al Janin Nasarawa also get pummeled there by Chindo, but they're still both standing, both on their feet, still very much in the game. What are your thoughts so far, Mr. Ibn? As we hear the referee whistle signal the end of round one. You can see both coaches now giving instructions to their fighters. What were your thoughts on that first round, Mr. Ibn?
Well, I think certainly that the camp of Manu Garkuwan Chindo appears to be more aggressive, while the guy in blue shorts, Aljanin Bahagon Nasarawa, has been a little bit more careful. That is the trend that I have seen. But in round 2, whether the coaches will allow them to continue with that trend or not, is left for us to see. So it's a bit tactical so far.
It's a lot tactical, as you've heard Mr. Ibn Mohammed say. Round 2, we'll see if the coaches will tell their fighters to let loose and let go and really give us the action that we're looking for. It's been a tactical first round. Both fighters very weary of each other as we get ready for round 2. The bell goes and it's Manu Garku and Chindo up against Al Janin Nasarawa.
Yes, I don't have to sit now. I don't have to
Nasarawa in the blue shorts, Manu Garku and Chindo in the brown, as we see Chindo again starting round 2 as he ended round 1, a lot more aggressive, a lot more attack minded. Nasarawa now growing into this game as he lunges with a punch to the side of the cheek there. Chindo takes it standing as they grapple on each other, and we can see Manu Garku and Chindo getting pushed back. Manu Garku and Chindo again advancing more than his opponent, but Nasarawa is being more careful, being a lot more tactical, but how far that will take him in the game we're yet to see. As the referee comes again to separate both fighters. A jab there as a kick by Nasarawa. A nice kick to the side of the head, but Chindo still standing, still taking it as they lock arms. And Garku and Chindo getting the audience in the arena excited as he takes punch after punch from Al Janin Nasarawa. The referee there with some instructions and to restart the match, to reset it. Nasarawa is from Niger State, so he is on home turf. Must be careful to not let his ego get in the way as we see him get pushed around. End of round 2. Very similar to round 1. Would you agree, Mr. Ibn? What did you see in this round 2?
Yes, very similar to round 1. The only difference is that I think the home man, Ajani Nasarawa, was beginning to become a little bit more aggressive. You could see at some point in time, he even tried to use his legs to score a point. That was a fine move. If he had connected, perhaps Chindo might have seen himself kissing the canvas. But they have one more chance, round 3, to determine who will take all the points home.
Remember, we have 3 ringside judges who are adjudicating what it is that they're seeing in the ring. Currently, each of these fighters have to be aware of the rules. I'm sure they're aware. We can see the score right now. Currently, Manu Garku and Chindo leading with 1 point, 48-47. Aljanin Bahagan Nasarawa 47 points, and Garku and Chindo with 48 as we enter round 3.
This scores actually tally with our observations.
Yeah.
We did observe that Chindo was a little bit more aggressive.
Yes. Both fighters gearing now, bobbing and waving as we see Garku Chindo again lunging for an attack as he retaliates. Nasarawa moving around, but a jab to the face there by Bahagan. Manu Garku Chindo, I beg your pardon. Manu Garku Chindo again advancing as we see Nasarawa stumble a little bit there. Manu Garku Chindo now getting the fans in the arena excited. Jab after jab, connecting the blows to the side of the face as he takes his as well. Aljanin Nasarawa looks out of breath. Manu Garku Chindo pounding on. Both of them holding each other off. You can see Aljanin Nasarawa complaining about something in the throat there. I think he's just taking a blow to the throat. What do you think?
Well, the rules have not indicated that if you are punched in the throat area, it's an offense. The rules only abolish or do not agree with any punch that is below the belt.
Yes.
So I do not think that Janin Nasara will have any point here. Maybe this is an indication that he's losing out. You remember that you did say that he's looking a little bit out of breath.
Yes.
So this fight might as well be a victory for Garkuwa Chindo. But it's a good thing here. The organizers have full medical attention on ground.
Yes. They have full medical attention on ground, and you can see there he's receiving instruction and is getting medical attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just seen the third round of the first bout here in the UK Belo Theatre. Al-Janin Nasarawa looks to be struggling with a punch to the throat there, but we will be hearing a lot more from the coach, the winner, and the referee. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo, you can see in the middle of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, posing for the cameras. Looks to be a judge, the winner. Maybe just taunting his opponent. Maybe a bit of ice can do something to help. You can see that's where he went down. Bahagan, Nasarawa, Al-Janin, Bahagan, Nasarawa. It's all smiles from Manu Garkuwa and Chindo as he gets held by the referee in the middle of the ring there. The medical attention as we await for Al-Janin Nasarawa, Bahagan Al-Janin Nasarawa, as we see Manu Garkuwa and Chindo in the middle of the ring with our referee. Some cheers, some jeers from the audience members here in the UK Belo Theatre. You can see the agitated fans looking forward to the results of this first bout between Manu Garkuwa and Chindo and Al-Janin Bahagan Nasarawa. The first fight of the Dambe Warrior Circuit Fight 12 lightweight division. Al-Janin now has joined the, and we have just been announced. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo has just been announced as the winner. Manu Garkuwa and Chindo is the winner of the first bout here in the Circuit Fight 12, defeating Al-Janin Bahagan Nasarawa. the fans here jeering for Manu Garku and Chindo. Al-Janin Bahagan Nasarawa still looks to be in a bit of pain as we see Mr. Ibn Mohammed now interviewing the winner.
To Mungode. Well, the interpretation, Manu says he knows that he can beat Al-Janin Nasarawa anytime. He didn't injure him. He knows that what he did is a perfect job on him. Kola, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Muhammad. Or we just heard from the winner, Manu Garkuwan Chindo, saying he didn't hit his opponent in any malicious way. He won him fair and square. As we see Manu Garkuwan Chindo, they interact with the fans, interact with the audience here at the UK Ghana Theatre. Of course, we're getting ready for our second bout, which is between Alton Kurawa and Yar Mago. Alton Kurawa of House Kudu and Alton Kurawa, one fight, stands at 5 foot 8 inches, weighs 67 kg. He has a weight of 5 foot 10 inches, and his career record 5 wins and 6 losses. The current champion Yar Magi going up against Kurawa, we can see now in the middle of our scores getting sacked up by the drummers here. Alton Kurawa this season won his first bout against Manu Garkuwan Chindo, who we just saw knockout of defeat Al-Janin Nasarawa. He weighs 67 kg, stands at 5 foot 10, 5 foot 8 inches with a weight of 5 foot 10 inches. Getting his entire face wrapped there. Mr. Ibn, you just interviewed Manu Garkuwan Chindo, who told us that he won that match fair and square. Right, as we prepare for this second match now, we're looking at a current champion, Yar Magi, the little cat, I'm told that's what it means, up against Alton Kurawa, who won his match against Chindo. So if Chindo's match is anything to go by, what do you think we're to expect from Alton Kurawa, who defeated Chindo in Katsina?
Well, judging by the two results you have mentioned, then it looks like Alton Kurawa needs to be very, very careful with Magi, because Magi did win against Garkuwa Chindo, and now as we see the two of them file out, it is clear that Magi will want to consolidate and make sure that his marks improve and his rankings improve. But this is also one of the fights that I need to make very clear. These two fighters are from the same constituency. They are all from Kudawa. Translated means they are from the southern belt of the north, where these boxers are situated, because they are being situated based on that. So they are Kudawa, all of them. Alton Kurawa literally means the last born of the south. So last born of the south is going to fight the little cat of the south.
Interesting.
It's going to be interesting. It's one of the things that the coaches do to refreshen their words, is to put a lot of water on them, especially given the weather situation here in Mina.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn. As he just said, we'll be seeing two fighters from the same house, both from House Kudu, Alton Kurawa and Yar Magi. Yar Magi with a record of 6 wins and 1 loss, going up Alton Kurawa, who has 4 wins and 6 losses. 5 wins actually, 5 wins and 6 losses. They both have the same coach, but today we're going to see different fighting styles. Don't forget, Yar Magi is the current champion of the lightweight division. His opponent Alton Kurawa defeated Manu Garkuwan Chindo in Katsina. So this is going to be a very, very interesting bout. You can see Yar Magi getting his cara fist wrapped there. in the presence of the assistant referee to make sure that there's nothing in that face malicious that can hurt invariably his opponent.
Well, caller, we are seeing among the boxers that have turned out here so far, we are seeing the first southpaw in boxing annals. We call boxers that deliver their punches with the left southpaws. So this is the first time we are seeing a really left-handed boxer in today's bouts.
Yes.
And that is Magi.
Do you think there's a correlation between the little cat and the left hand?
Well, I do not know whether cats are supposed to be left-handed or right-handed, but all I do know that Magi from the records is pretty dangerous.
Yes.
And his opponent for today, Kurawa, needs to be a little bit careful.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ibn. Kurawa knows very much Magi's prejudice, because we saw them both last season where Magi emerged victorious against Bahagan Zayano. But currently, Kurawa is in second place, whilst Magi is in 6th after losing woefully in Katsina. But I'm sure Magi will be looking to get back into winning ways, as we see both of them step up in the middle of the ring. Kurawa in red shorts, Magi also in red shorts, but Magi is saluting the crowd. Magi on the right side of your screens, with Kurawa on the left. And off we go. Kurawa very quickly now, just getting into the mix of things, pummeling Magi. The referee having to come in the middle to separate them now. A lot of energy from Kurawa.
Well, Kurawa actually looks bigger in size.
Yeah.
And it looks more fanciful. Whether his blows will be more effective or not, we are left to find out in the next couple of minutes.
Yes, we're really looking forward to finding out how effective the punches are. Kurawa, the bigger of both fighters, but this bout starting very, very aggressive, and we can see Magi now returning a punch, jab or two as he evades Kurawa, and now it is Magi dominating, uppercut left, as we hear cheers from the crowd here. Kurawa forced to be on his palms to the ring. Mr. Ivan, what do you think about what we are witnessing here as we see Magi again throw to the ground Kurawa, who is in a bit of a shock right now? He's yet to get up with a lot of energy that he started with. It's really been unfortunate that Kurawa doesn't have anything to do. What do you think, Mr. Ivan?
Well, 2 knockdowns so far from Magi, proving that he is indeed a dangerous customer, like we had alluded earlier. This
and
is
oh my word, we just said the 3rd time Kurawa, as the referee counts, we cannot see immediately the 5 seconds is out. The winner for this round, Magi, has just knocked down Kurawa. The fastest knockdown so far today. We've just seen Kurawa get knocked down. He must be disappointed with himself. A little over 20 seconds in the first round, and Magi has got him back to winning ways after losing in that bout in Katsina. Kurawa must be devastated with his performance, but Magi, the little cat, has returned to winning ways. Magi has just been announced as the official winner here in UK Belo Earth Theatre. Returning to winning ways, Magi, current champion of the lightweight division. We can see the replay there, Kurawa on the canvas, as we see Mr. Ibn Mohammed interview.
ban so ta haɗa wannan dan mutu saboda ta riga ta haɗa ne kuma wasa ne na karuwa kaga dole sai an yi ko ba haka ba
gaskiya ne
amma a ya hakuri ko ba ku gani ba ai ba wani abin ɗauka ba na duka na ba shi hakuri a matsayin shi na mai gida na ko ba haka ba saboda kama take yi
lalle haka take
well for my English viewers, Magi, the winner, is apologizing to his opponent because he is his oga, he says. He just had to do what he did. And it's a game anyway. And he apologizes, but he said he had to do it. That is Magi for you. Congratulations. Caller,
a big congratulations to Magi, who has just apologized
this is good
to
etiquette.
his opponent out of the house. That's why he must be apologizing. Some of the guys on YouTube, I can see Aliyu asking
dan zafaran nan gaskiya son kudin ka ya amma baka gane kudi Allah ka dan farawa su ku kowa yanzu yawa a cikin duniya yanzu wurin neman kudi da an koro su wallahi da an koro su suna nan wasu a Neja wasu a Kano wasu a ina
goje kana ji ba
koro su
Nasarawa
zan farawa suna nan ko a cikin
garkuwan Chindo
ko da mara su fi
fans
samu je wasa na gaba
got knocked out, but the first knockout today Magi defeating out of well, we just saw him apologize there because they're from the same house. How does it feel to fight someone from the heritage or to defeat him? Psyched up by the drummers and the singers.
That is the appellation that is.
I mean, seeing that he's currently in first place, I saw him in Katsina, very fierce against Magi, who we just saw win his bout. Kurma just got promoted into Dambe Warriors League last season, so he's someone that I know that we have to, watch out for. His opponent today, of course, is Bahagan Zayanu, former champion Bahagan Zayanu. I call him the Mercurial Bahagan Zayanu. Is more like a straight A student, but right now it's all about Kurma, who's defending the interest of the deaf. We'll see if his fighting skills will fall on deaf ears today or not against Bahagan Zayanu.
Well, this is Bahagan Zayanu. He appears to be rather fanciful with some fanciful hair there.
No, that's Kurma.
That's Kurma, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Garkuan Kurma appears fanciful. Apart from defending the interests of the deaf, he is fanciful. So we can easily recognize him. We are awaiting the entrance of
Bahagan
Zayanu.
The crowd here, you can see, getting riled up because the mercurial, the interesting, the fanciful, the wonderful Bahagan Zayanu has just stepped onto the ring, saluting the...
Watch out, caller. Zayanu is also left-handed.
Yes, Bahagan Zayanu, also left-handed. He's a former champion. In fact, his first loss in Dambe Warriors League came against Magi You can see this season he has just 1 loss, but his career record is 10 wins and 3 losses. Zayanu hasn't lost a lot of matches, but 2 of them have come up against Magi, and last time out he lost to Sandai. So now he'll be getting ready to get back into winning ways.
Yeah, so he's probably one of the most experienced of the boxers here, of the Dambe here, because most of the ones we are seeing, the most fights they have had would be 6 or 5, but he has had 10 fights under his belt, for 10 wins and 3 losses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we expect this to be a very competitive match. Kurma currently in first place, and his opponent Zayanu in 5th. As the Queen gets ready to go around the arena, to go around the ring, we're getting ready for round 1. Kurma up against Bahagan Zayanu. Bahagan Zayanu, a very short fighter but very formidable. He stands at 5 foot 2 inches. He weighs 61 kg. His opponent, Kurma, is 5'8", a bit taller, but round 1 is underway. Kurma of House Gurumada up against Zayanu, also of House Gurumada.
I've just picked it from the host there. Zayanu is actually Bahago Zayanu. There is no N. In Hausa, when you say Bahagon Zayanu, you would be referring to Zayanu's left hand. But in this case, there is no N after Bahago. So it's simply Bahago Zayanu. Zayanu the left hand.
Zayanu the left hand. You can see his left arm there flying in the air. As we see Kurma also retaliating. It's a right versus left fist. Bahago Zayanu throwing himself into the mix of things as both of them stop down for a breather. But you can see Kurma also throwing himself there, a lunge there by Kurma. Bahagan Zayanu, the lefter, yet to see if it's going to be left behind or it's going to be leaving people behind. Bahagan Zayanu, a lot focused on this match. Will be getting ready as he pummels Kurma, who takes the punch standing. Bouncing around in the arena, Bahagan Zayanu, former champion, lost to Nasarawa, Aljalin Nasarawa in Katsina, but Kurma is a newbie. Of course, he beat the current champion, Magi, so he is one to look out for. But Bahagan Zayanu now advancing as the referee separates both of these fighters. Kurma lunging for an attack, but expertly evaded by Bahagan Zayanu. A lot of concentration needed now as we see Kurma advancing. Zayanu lunging for an attack, but none of it yet to connect here. And that is the end of round 1. What did you think of round 1, Mr. Ibn?
This fight appears to be one fight in which both fighters are showing a lot of respect to each other. No one is prepared to take a risk seemingly, as the coaches try to refreshen them and give them words of wisdom. But if they want to win, I think they've got to come out of their shells.
They really do have to come out of their shells. Again, to mention that they are both from the same house Gurumada. That could be a contributing factor as to why they are taking things easy. As we hear the drummers and the singers psych up the energy, psych up the crowd, as we prepare for round 2 here at the UK Battle of Theatre in Niger State. The bell goes now for round 2. Garkuwa Kurma up against Bahaga Zayanu. A lot of motionless poses here from both fighters. Bahaga on the left, you can see on the right side of your screen, Garkuwa Kurma on the left. Lunge there by Kurma, nothing doing.
Garkuwa Kurma appears to have the longer reach advantage.
Yeah.
And so far he's not making use of it.
Well, Bahaga Zayanu is very experienced in this game, and he can use your strength against you, or maybe Garkuwa Kurma is just not taking enough calculated risk, as we see him lunge again for a punch, but expertly weaved by Bahaga Zayanu. Garkuwa Kurma, as I mentioned, defeated his opponent to stand in first place. This is the first time we ever see Zayanu in the bottom half of the table. But he must be eager to get back to winning ways, as we've seen Yarmage do earlier. But it's Garkuwa Kurma who's making all the advances as he holds onto the throat, but Garkuwa Kurma has nothing enough on Bahaga Zayanu, who is throwing that wicked left fist in the air. Both of them very concentrated. Bahaga Zayanu is having to take a lot of punches, as we see Zayanu still evading attacks. Garkuwa Kurma telling his coach, oh listen, I'm good to go, I'm ready to go for round 3. Bahaga Zayanu is in his usual fashion, standing there like a grade A student. What do you think about it, Mr. Ibn?
Well, Bahaga Zayanu is proving to be an obedient ward to his coach, but Garkuwa seems fired up, because towards the end of that second round, he was all blazing, and I think this third round is going to be a make or mar. Bahaga needs to come out with, from his defensiveness. He needs to make a point, and otherwise Garkuwa may be stealing the points.
Currently, it looks like it's all Garkuwa, because he's making a lot of more advances, taking the action, taking the fight to Bahaga. Bahaga, we know, is a very mercurial, very calculated fighter as we prepare for round 3. Manu, Bahaga Zayanu. A lot of bobbing and movement now from Garkuwa Kurma, as he lunges there, but his opponent Zayanu aware of what he's doing. Another lunge by Kurma, nothing yet to connect this third round. Both of them have to come out of their shells, as Garkuwa Kurma still advancing. Whether this will prove fatal to Zayanu or Kurma, we're yet to find out. Both of them in the lunge again, evade after evade from Zayanu. One thing about Zayanu is he knows when to make the lunge, but it's seemingly that he's holding himself back, because we've seen him many times in this competition and he turns it up against his opponent. But right here, he seems to be taking it slow with Garkuwa Kurma, who is making all the advances but yet to connect with his opponent's torso. He's lunging for that chest area, but nothing exactly connecting. Bahaga Zayanu with the right hand face, and we see him now lunge with the left wicked all around the arena, all around the ring. Bahaga Zayanu now retaliating as he grapples onto his opponent. You can see the fans enjoying the action here. The referee separates both of them as they go in to the end of round 3. We're here to hear from the judges the official points. Bahagan Zayano and Garkuwa Kurma now in the middle of the ring with the referee in the middle as we await the judges to give us the official scoreline. The judges now collating the scores as we look at the replays. Alton Bahagan Zayanu made all of the evasive techniques. Garkuwa Kurma advancing a lot in this round, but what a punch there by Zayanu. A jab that connected to the chin of Garkuwa Kurma as they grappled, and the referee separates. Bahagan Zayanu has just been announced as the winner, getting him back into winning ways. Bahagan Zayanu 78 points with Garkuwa Kurma on 76. A very close margin there, but Bahagan Zayanu, former champion of the lightweight division, has just won against the number 1 ranked Garkuwa Kurma.
gida na Kurma ina kuwa fata alkhairi. Shi abokin karawanka me zaka ce mishi? To ina mai fatan nasara dambe na gaba. To mun gode. Nasara. Well, what Zayanu has stated is that he is grateful to the Almighty for giving him victory over his opponent, who is his friend. He wishes him well in the future. Winning is a continuous business. Caller, you have heard what our winner has stated. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. What just heard from Bahagan Zayanu there, stating exactly what his thoughts are after defeating the number 1 ranked Garkuwa Kurma and getting back to winning ways. So Yarmate and Bahagan Zayanu, who started today in 5th and 6th place, have got their wins, and with that they should be moving up the ranking table. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the last fight in the lightweight division, and after this break we will be going to the middleweight category. If you're just joining us, it is still Dambe Warriors Circuit Fight 12 coming to you live from the UK Belo Arth Theatre here in Mina, Niger State. My name is Kolamide. Make sure you follow all our social media platforms. Dambe Warriors on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. And of course, you can follow us on Instagram as well. Dambe Warriors. Big shout out to our sponsors, Pop Cola. Big shout out to our sponsors, Pop Cola, Hero Hunter, Power Oil, Hypo, and of course, Ico Insurance.
Pop Cola. Guy, somebody else,
Tamboyi ne.
Bari yazo. Shigo.
In ka amsa shi kenan.
Go. Ta. Za mu yi maka tambayoyi ne. Abu guda uku wanda bayan lemo har da lemo din abu uku Coca-Cola suke yi. Ka gaya mana abu guda uku wanda Coca-Cola suke yi.
Cola na jiki koko.
Abubuwa a kamfanin su na Coca-Cola guda uku wanda suke yi.
Na dai san suna taimaka ma gidan magayi.
ba wannan ba abinda suke yi abinda lemo nasu guda uku
yawa
ke yi
kayan tsoce-tsoce
abinda ji yake ba
a ba abin jiki ba lemon guda nawa suke da wani kala ne
kola guda ɗaya ne sani
to wannan ce shi fa kola guda ɗaya sani dala wani ya fito
a bari chairman bari are chairman bari chairman daliti
to ɗana ya rugo da gudu
chairman daliti bari ni gyara maka hausa ka kai ba Kano ne baka da hausa lemu kala guda uku wanda ya san kamfanin pop cola
to ai
yake
sai haka ci ai pop cola da haka ci pop cola ba lemo kaɗai suke yi ba
yawa
yin abubuwa daban-daban a ƙasar nan ta Najeriya
wannan haka yake
to na gyara ma hausanka pop cola abu guda uku wanda suke yi pop cola muke so gaya mana
akwai lemo akwai akwai sabulu
yawa
to gaskiya wanda ya ce ta ba mai Allah ya ce akwai lemo akwai omo akwai sabulu wanda kamfanin pop cola suke yi
kuma dan zamfara
gashi nan za a bashi lemo
kuma mutumin zamfara ne
dan zamfara ne
to kaga an gwada ma zamfaranci
kaga mutumin zamfara ne ya lashe wannan ba ka bai sani ba
sai me a gyara fili zan baka dama kai mana kida a dan gyara fili na 30 second
to a gyara kuma an bani dama in je in yi tsari
an kawara ba tsari mai waka
a gyara fili makada a shaba bismillah
baya da gudu ba shi fafada ka ji ke da dan falin jama'a sana mai shanu dan falin wata magana a kuka ce.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving now straight into the middleweight category. As you can see on your screens, Ramadan Garba leading the way, quickly followed by Dogon Messi in second place, Shaban in third place, Dan Nigeria in fourth, Zazu in fifth, and of course Yasanda in sixth. Today's matches will see Zazu go up against Ramadan, Bahaga Yasanda against Shaban, and Dogon Messi taking on Dan Nigeria. It's still Dambe Warriors Circuit Fight 12, coming to you live from the UK Baylor Art Theatre in Niger State. Ladies and gentlemen, on your screens right now, we can see the musicians, the drummers, and the singers as we get ready for our first bout in the middleweight category.
Jide, who's going first now? Jide, who's going first?
Dogon Messi is going up against Dan Nigeria. Dogon Messi going up against Dan Nigeria. Dogon Messi, who just quickly promoted into the Dambe's Warrior. Second place now from House Jamus. Very good with his feet, very direct warrior. As you can see him there. This is the fighter that you said has an affinity for Lionel Messi. What do you think about his outfit now?
Well, certainly his name depicts that he has an inkling for liking Lionel Messi, the footballer, the Argentine footballer. Now we see him, Dogo, as the name says. He is tall,
Yes.
and his hair is fanciful, but he is right-handed, unlike Messi. So whether that will come to bear in his matchup against
Salaka Dan Nigeria.
Bahagon and Nigeria, for short, we will soon find out.
All right, Dogo Messi is from House Jamus. He stands at 6 foot 1 inch with a reach of 6 foot 2 inches. He is from Kano State. Currently, he is second, and of course, he weighs 71 kg. His opponent, Dan Nigeria, is also from House Jamus. We see him now rushing onto the scene.
Well, Dan Nigeria is the first boxer to come out here wearing a cap, headgear. He is relatively experienced, but it doesn't look as if he has had a good run, because I can see he has had only 2 victories against about 9 defeats.
Yes, unfortunately, Dan Nigeria has had more losses than wins. He's had 2 wins and 8 losses. Actually, currently, 2 wins and 9 losses, because he lost his last match. But he is a shorter of both fighters. He stands at 5 foot 6 inches with a reach of 5 foot 9, but very good with the grapples. Even though he's short, he's got a low center of gravity, so it's harder to put him on his back. But Dan Nigeria, very, very experienced. I hear he's about 10 years more experienced than his opponent, Dogo Messi. But yeah, that we will see if it's experience or is the young youthfulness that would win the game today.
Both of them are from Jamusawa, they are called. That is appellation of their house here. And the in Nigeria, the one with the headgear, has apparent reach disadvantage, apart from the fact that he has lost quite a few matches. Maybe he is looking for redemption here.
Yeah, he must be looking for redemption, Dan Nigeria, because he's been in the league since season 1 and he must be ready to go. And off we go, Bahagan Dogo Messi, I beg your pardon, up against Salagat Bahagan Dan Nigeria. Dan Nigeria with the early attack there in his traditional headgear. Dan Nigeria with a shorter reach, but starting this round a lot more aggressive than his opponent, getting a jab and a punch there to Dogo Messi. Dogo Messi must be weary of the experience of Dan Nigeria. Dogo Messi is very good with his hand and foot, but we can see early domination by Dan Nigeria, who grapples on his opponent as the referee comes to separate both of them. Dan Nigeria stands at 5 foot 6 inches. His opponent 6'1", but still getting the top of the head, almost like a knock to the head from Dan Nigeria, who's very, very seemingly concentrated right now. And another lunge by Dogo Messi, which doesn't connect, but sees Dan Nigeria retaliates with a counter attack. Both fists are locked, both fighters locked in as Dogo Messi tries to make something happen for himself in this first round. Dogo Messi won his last bout in Katsina, but his opponent here is one who's with a lot of experience. Dogo Messi's first fight in Dambe Warriors was a win against Zazu, but that is the end of round 1. Very interesting round 1, you would say. Even with the longer reach, Dogo Messi seemed to not be able to connect a lot with that Nigeria. What do you think, Mr. Ibn?
Certainly, that Nigeria from Zaria in Kaduna State is the more aggressive in this first round. And he's trying to look for redemption, as we noticed prior to the start of that round. He has left no one in doubt here that he has not come to Mina, here, the power state, to smell power, but to grab power if he can.
Yeah. Now we're prepared for round 2 as we see both of the fighters step into the ring with some instruction from the referee. Dan Nigeria, you can see in the middle of your screen with the headgear. He always wears this headgear. Sometimes he gets knocked off his head, but we can see a lunge with the foot there by Dogon Messi, who's very good with his feet, by the way. That adds to his arsenal because a longer reach with the leg might just be what he needs right now. But that Nigeria still seems to be making all of the things happen for himself here. As he pummels the back of the head, Dogo Messi has to bend to reach that Nigeria's face, but that Nigeria is all over him right now. That Nigeria, shorter of the both fighters, but making things happen for himself. Dogo Messi has to re-strategize, has to do something spectacular here if he's to come away with a win. Dogo Messi, you remember, defeated Salim, the Algerian fighter, in the promotional fight in Lagos, the Super Fight 2. But here we're seeing him up against a much more experienced fighter, a much more experienced opponent. As we see him again launch into an attack, but doesn't exactly connect. That Nigeria focused. As Mr. Ibn said, a lot of it has to do with him regaining power. His record is not good for him, but he's making it work. That Nigeria stepping back, allowing himself enough space to lunge and attack. As we see Dogo Messi hit a combination with foot and an arm, but nothing exactly connecting. The fans are getting involved now as the bell comes to signal the end of round 2. What do you think about round 2, Mr. Ibn?
Definitely fiercer than the first round. Dogo Messi is beginning to come up, but then Nigeria is not relenting. So it is tit for tat. The two of them have actually been really going at each other. But I do not know what the computer judges have been scoring, but it does look like if we add this alongside what the first round appeared to be, maybe, just maybe, then Nigeria may be slightly ahead.
Just maybe, then Nigeria, because we've seen him give a lot more connecting attacks. But Dogo Messi, as I stated earlier, very, very dangerous, very formidable, good with the hand and the feet, as we see the replay there. Both of them from the same house. Of course, there's still the brotherly love. But it is round 3 now. Dogo Messi up against Dan Nigeria. Dogo Messi has to be very wary of his opponent, Dan Nigeria, who seems to be making it all his business right about now. Dan Nigeria again grappling onto his opponents, despite being the shorter of both opponents, still making a big shout out to all of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube, and of course on AIT, our sister channel, broadcasting this live to 54 countries. We're coming to you live from Niger State, Mina, the power state. Dogo Messi now looking to retaliate, looking to bring something to the fore here. Wraith of Rider, I can see your comment. This is going the distance. Yes, it is. But we can see Dogon Messi now getting pummeled by Dan Nigeria. He escapes another attack. Dan Nigeria looking the more dangerous, the more formidable of both fighters here. Dogon Messi wobbling a little bit, but Dan Nigeria still standing his ground. And that is the end of round 3, as you see both opponents, both fighters, I beg your pardon, hugging each other, saluting the crowd. Dogon Messi and Dan Nigeria, we can see in the replay there, Dan Nigeria a lot more aggressive, a lot more dangerous than his opponent. As we await the official scores from the judges. Both fighters now loosening their carafists as we prepare to hear the official scores from the judges. We're waiting the judges to give us the scoreline here. And the official scoreline has just come in. Dogon Messi, the official winner with 86 points. Dogon Messi is the winner here.
Gashi nan ana interview da Salaka Bahagon dan Najeriya ya cinye babbar doya. Wallahi da wala haula.
Dan Nigeria, sorry, that was a bit of technical issue. Dan Nigeria is officially the winner here in Mina.
And will not stop anything. They come from the same They will
the crowd inside the arena getting a lot more livelier.
The winner is praising his colleague. They have come from the same place and letting know things. Respecting this victory will from his childhood friends. I hope that they who are watching and they be seeing this.
Thank you to Mr. Ibn Mohammed.
Zazu!
Middleweight category. And you can see the the musician Portable. Ramadan. Wins, 1 loss. He stands at 6 foot. He's 5 wins. Getting his carapace wrapped up. champion of the middleweight category. As we see the referee now usher both fighters to the middle of the ring.
Jamus ba ta kasa arewa sai mai sallah. Bari mu saurara. Yanzu za mu kira
Ramadan Garba, who's a fan favorite here. You can see the fans getting irate, standing on their feet, getting excited for one of their own, Ramadan Garba, who has garnered so much fans across the Dambe universe. Ramadan Garba in the middle of the ring there. Mr. Ibn Mohammed, what is it? What does Ramadan Garba mean in Hausa? Because I don't know what it is about this fighter, but every city we go to, he has a ton of fans.
Ramadan simply refers to the month of Ramadan. It's named after the month of Ramadan, the holy month of fasting for Muslims. But the man, Ramadan Garba, must certainly be packing something in his hands and his mannerisms. He has the charisma. He has the face that people want. Donations are just flooding him all over him before even the match starts. The fans clearly think that he's going to be the winner. You are speaking about what happened in every city that he has fought. In Katsina, a few weeks ago, the same scenario.
Yes.
Well, whether he's going to, keep up with the hope and prayer of the crowd, we are going to have to find out, because his opponent, Zazu, who comes from Kudu, his own house is Kudu, while Ramadan comes from
Jamus.
Kano, is Jasawa, Jamusawa, so to speak, not Jasawa. We will really have a fight in our hands. There is charisma, there is razzmatazz, there is love shown by the crowd to Ramadan. But will he replicate that when the chips are down?
We're yet to find out. But going by the experience, Zazu has lost a couple of matches, but Ramadan is yet to lose a match in Dambe Warriors history. He has 12 wins and 0 losses. The current champion of Dambe Warriors Season 1 and Season 2 in the Dambe Warriors middleweight category. But his opponent today is Zazu, who is a big fan of the artist Portable, which is where he got his name from. But Zazu, very charismatic, very direct in his fighting, but his opponent, Ramadan, of course, the current champion, very technical with a wealth of experience, 2-time champion, and of course, as you can see, a very big fan favorite. So we have a bout, a spectacle on our hands. Zazu up against Ramadan.
Zazu in red, Ramadan in blue.
Yes. Zazu saluting the crowd, and you can see Ramadan right behind him also saluting the crowd as we get into the game. Round 1, Zazu versus Ramadan. Ramadan Garba, a big fan favorite here. A lunge there by Zazu, who's starting this game very aggressively. Ramadan having to deal with that, but Ramadan advancing in his technical fashion, his technical manner. Both fighters now locked. A feint there by Zazu, getting a reaction out of Ramadan. Zazu getting pummeled by Ramadan, but 5 foot 10 inches. He hails from Zamfara State. His opponent, Ramadan of House Jamus, stands at 6 foot 1 estate with a record 12 wins, 0 losses, 13 wins actually now, after defeating Yasanda last time out in Katsina. Ramadan must be very careful and has to pull off something spectacular here to defeat this champion, as we see Ramadan cover the face of Zazu. The fans cheering on. Just love a knockdown, because if Zazu were to win here, as you can see him charismatically making and taunting his fan, he would still get the reaction out of the fans. What did you think of that first round?
Well, certainly Zazu has shown that he is no respecter of Ramadan. Ramadan can have all the cheers and all the monetary gifts prior to the fight. He can have all the statistics of being 13-0, but when the chips are down, Zazu wants to prove himself, and he has given no quarter and taken no quarter in this first round. So Ramadan knows it's not going to be a joke in the second round. If he wants to maintain his flamboyance and retain his record, he must give a good account of himself.
Very well said, Mr. Ibn. Thank you very much. As we return for round 2, Zazu versus Ramadan. When it comes to the chips, when it comes to the fight itself, Zazu is no respecter of records or fans. He's here to complete a mission, and that's exactly what he's on to. Zazu locked in now. Zazu in the red trunk, Ramadan in the blue. As we see him advance, Zazu now grappling to the back of the neck of Ramadan as the referee comes to separate both fighters. Zazu again advancing, and to the face there by Ramadan. Ramadan Garba having to hold up against his opponent here. A lunge again by Zazu. Unfortunately, doesn't connect. The referee again. Zazu getting a jab there, but Ramadan takes that beautifully. Another jab by Zazu, who is no respecter of the champion, the current champion. Ramadan now covering the face of his opponent to try and get him cornered, but Zazu very aware of these tricks, but still doing his best to stay on his feet as he lunges again for another attack. I don't know if that is allowed in the game, but Zazu is taking it pretty well, not letting up at all. A very fierce fight we have on our hands, and that is the end of round 2. What did you think of Zazu's performance in round 2, Mr. Ibn?
Zazu is matching Ramadan blow for blow, hand for hand, and I think Ramadan knows now that he has a big task in front of him.
Yes,
for him to retain his victory streak, he has to be decisive. This third round will make Omar for either of the two boxers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn. This round is very pivotal, very important. We've seen Zazu match Ramadan. Remember, these two have met before in the former season, season 2, and Ramadan emerged victorious. But this time around, Zazu is not letting up at all. We can see your comments flooding in on Facebook and from YouTube as we see Ramadan now getting his mojo on. Abubakar Muhid, you are watching live from Libya, Tripoli. Thank you very much for tuning in. A lunge again by Zazu, doing his best to dominate as we see Ramadan counter-attack that beautifully. Zazu must be careful to not expend all of his energy. Ramadan has a motive to confuse his opponents. That's why he keeps putting the hand to the face with his reach. Zazu must be very careful of that. Ramadan yet to make any connecting attack here. Zazu doing his best to stand Remember, Zazu is in 5th place, Ramadan in 1st. But in the middle of the ring right now, it is no matter at all. Got Zazu again with a connecting jab. You can see the coach screaming in the back there. Zazu doing all of the heavy punching here. Three minutes, 3 seconds left on the clock as the bell goes for the end of round 3. Now we are yet to see what the judges are gonna say. A very evenly fought match. Zazu, in fact, outdoing himself based on experience, based on what we've seen before. Zazu gave it a lot of girth, a lot of action. Ramadan, well, still the current champion, still holding off his opponent, but not really advancing here. So it's down to the judges now to see what exactly they're going to award these Dambe warriors.
Ramadan, Garba Ramadan, yana da point 85. Zazu Zamfara gida yana da point.
And the official scoreline just going for the first time in Dambe Warrior history. Zazu has put out a performance of a lifetime. He won against Ramadan. For the first time ever, Ramadan has just lost a match of Dambe for the first time, and he's lost to none other than Zazu. A wonderful performance here by Zazu to win against Ramadan, 87 points to 85, as we see Mr. Ibn Mohammed interview him.
Gaskiya bai sa ba, wallahi Allah gwai, ko kaɗan bai taɓa sa ba wallahi.
To an bani labarin a da kun taɓa kokawa kuma Ramadan ya yi galaba a kanka, yau ga shi ka Allah ya sa ka rama.
To ai komi daga yi Allah ne, ko ba haka ba, komi Allah ke yi. Ya yau na samu nasara, in yau ka samu nasara ga wani to gobe kai ma za a samu nasara a rika. Dan ni haka na gode ma Allah, kuma na gode ma iyayena, na gode ma masu gidajena. Wa yau da gobe ni gobe ya ni ne Zazu Otuwa.
Well, here's Zazu here. The famous line of
what Zazu has stated is that in the past he did lose to Ramadan, but today was a and life goes on. God and life really goes on. So we await the entrance of the next two boxers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. For the first time, we've just seen Ramadan, the fan favorite, the current champion, lose a match of Dambe. Lost to none other than Zazu, who put in a performance of a to win 285. We just heard from Zazu. You know what? This guy has gotten a lot of respect all over the world. Today, the champion, proud of himself, and he should be proud. Zazu did put out a wonderful performance. Yes, it's a big upset. I can see the fans of Ramadan on our YouTube stream. You know, a lot of you say Ramadan, but unfortunately, and yes, we apologize for the earlier error. Dan Nigeria was the winner of that bout. Unfortunately, the technical team didn't collect the results properly, but Dan Nigeria won and corrected it. Big ups to Zazu. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. That we just see And of course, some merchandise now being advertised in the arena. You want to get your Dambe Warriors merchandise. That's for Dogo Mitako Sarah. Get it on our website or the arena here. For the next fight in Shaban of House Kudu. You can see 1 win, 0 loss. But Yasanda is the one who is coming out behind. A bit of a scare to
Bahago Yasanda translate means the left-handed policeman. Bahago Yasanda has something probably to do with peacekeeping, law, keeping of the law, and so on and so forth. And he's been shown love here. His left handed, as his name indicates, Bahago Yasanda. His records are up here. He is on this forum, at least, Dambe League. He has had only one fight, which he lost previously.
Yes.
So today, if he wants to really make his name go further in this Dambe League, it is assumed that he would want to put in such a wonderful performance that he would win. This is Bahagon Yasanda for you.
Bahagon Yasanda, we can see there with the referee making sure the Kara is properly wrapped. His last fight was against Ramadan, and he lost to Ramadan in Katsina. But yes, he must be eager to get his name into the winning books. His opponent, Shaban, got to the final last time around, of unfortunately losing to Ramadan. Shaban, we can see now in the middle of our screens, coming out onto the ring.
Shaban, one of the two boxers that are bearing the names that are alluded to Muslim lunar calendar months. Ramadan we just saw lost. This is Shaban. I hope that will not be an onus that will follow him. He also has had only one fight so far
this
season. And although overall he has a margin of 5 wins against 2 losses. So he's pretty experienced, and the odds appear to favor him.
Yes, the odds does appear to favor him. Shaban is a fighter who's very direct. He's very good with his feet. But Bahagon Yasanda is a mad fighter. I saw him in Nasarawa in the promotionals, and honestly, he gave his opponents a bit of a scare. So today, we're looking to see a fierce competition. Both fighters, you can see the records now. Shaban stands at 5 foot 11 inches. His opponent 5 foot 9 inches, and Shaban weighs 75 kg, as opposed in round 1. Shaban versus Yasanda, who makes a lovely grapple, but Shaban now putting his foot to use, and you can see how effective it is, but Yasanda also retaliates with his left-handed fist. The crowd here loving the engagement, the early stages of this fight, bringing a lot of action. Shaban very good with his feet, but must be wet. Yasanda poses. Yasanda, as we told earlier, means police. So how good of a peacekeeper he is, we're about to find out. Both of them now locked in, very motionless, as they orchestrate the next line of action. Shaban versus Yasanda. 50 seconds left on the clock, as both fighters think about their next line of action. Legs, but we're to see what exactly happens. 10 seconds left on the clock for this round 1. Shaban versus Yasanda. And that is the end of round 1. Very interesting early stages there. Shaban versus Yasanda. You can see a lot of exchanges in the early stages from both fighters. But right about now, they're getting instructions from their coaches. What did you think of that bout, Mr. Ibn?
Well, the opening exchanges of this particular middleweight bout has been very, very cagey. The two boxers are showing a lot of respect to each other. Shaban and Sandai are doing their level best to defend themselves and attack. But so far, no one has prevailed. No one seems to be, having the upper hand as the second half starts.
Second round on the way as we see Yasanda now, the one advancing. A jab to the side of the throat as Shaban now pummeling uppercut after uppercut. A pound of combinations there from Shaban, looking to assert early dominance here as he grapples with his opponent. You see the referee even struggling to separate the fighters. Shaban must be kicking himself now. He should have landed something a lot more devastating there, but Yasanda still standing on his feet, just engrossed with the match, absolutely focused on his opponent and taking him down. Bahagans, Yasanda up against Shaban here. Remember, Shaban made it to the final of the Super Fight 2 in Lagos. 26th of May was a spectacle, lost to Ramadan, but as of right now, 40 seconds left on the clock in round 2, and he's being taunted by Yasanda, who's asking him, come, let's see what you got. Shaban, very early in this match, put out a combination of punches that was just spectacular to watch. But right about now, both of them motionless, very careful, very wary of each other. We're yet to see any form of action. 15 seconds left on the clock.
Kola, it is a bit intriguing. If you watch closely, Sandai's right leg, what is protruding out of that?
That's interesting. I didn't notice, but yes, maybe.
Well, if it were a football event, one would have said that was shin guard. This would guard whatever it is. But as you were saying, Shaban appears to have set the pace in the first round,
and even the second round.
And Bahago Sandai has really his work cut out for him now. Unless he knocks out Shaban, the point tally may not be in his favor.
In his favor, yes, very well said, Mr. Ibn. Currently, looks like Shaban is in the lead, but round 3, of course, provides an opportunity for us to see what it is that Yasanda has. Wonder what that is, really. Now that you've brought my attention to it, I still wonder what that is. But we'll find out. 5 seconds now elapsed in the third round, I beg your pardon, as we see Shaban take on Yasanda.
This is the last fight in the middleweight category.
Yes. Yeah. Right foot, right fist versus left. Shaban with a right foot fist, Kara, and his opponent
Bahagon and Sandai with the left.
With the left. Still a lot of concentration needed here. You can see Yasanda looking like a ninja almost. Feigning and bobbing, trying to get his opponent distracted. But right about now, leg kick. Nice kick that doesn't really do any damage. But nice evasive technique there by Shaban. as Yasanda tries to make something of himself in this third round. Yasanda again advancing with a left fist, but Shaban evading all these attacks. Shaban just has a face of a warrior. There's no smiles, it's just business. As you see Shaban bobbing in the middle of the ring there. Shaban versus Yasanda. 12 seconds left on the clock. 12 seconds remaining for Yasanda to make something happen for himself here. Shaban as Yasanda lunges again, but it is all over here as we see both of these fighters held on by the referee. Shaban saluting the crowd. Same for Yasanda. And Shaban has just been announced as the winner here. Shaban with 87 points to Yasanda's 84, which means now that Yasanda will be going on the opposite side. Well, still remains sixth. Shaban will be moving up the table in the official rankings.
Sannan kuma ni gaskiya wasan nan da shigo da karfin gwiwa da confidence na kan yin wasan nan kuma gashi Allah ya cika mun buri na Allah ya nasara to yan kallo da kuka samu damar zuwa wajen wannan gun Allah ya mai da kowa gida lafiya yanda kuka zo wasan nan Allah ya tashi lafiya godiya nake
amma shi ba hagon yan sanda bai baka mamaki ba
ba ai ba abun mamaki bane dambe ni ba wani mamaki ne ban wallahi ni na yi mamaki ma da ban sumar da shi ba
to ba hago kaji amma dai mun gode Shaban Allah idaniya. Well, gentlemen, Shaban is happy he has won his bout and he thinks he ought to have knocked out his opponent, but somehow it didn't click for him. But life goes on anyway. This is the end of the bouts in the middleweight category. We will now be heading for the big one. Those are the heavy hitters, and the next three bouts will feature all of them in the heavy hitting category. So let's keep watching. Kola.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. We've just seen Shaban now say he wished to have knocked out his opponent, but
kafin mu je dan na gaba
for a win.
Za mu sa talla na hero sannan kuma akwai riguna da aka yi ga ta nan tana kewayawa da kudu idan baka son mai hoto to ka sa akwai ta kudu akwai ta arewa gashi nan tana kewayawa akwai ta kudu akwai ta arewa akwai ta rugurmada akwai mai hoto idan mai hoto kake so za a baka sai mai hoto naira 7,000.
Dambe Warriors Circuit Fight 12. I'm Kolamide. Thank you very much for those of you just tuning in, and if you've tuned in before, it's still Dambe Warriors, the most sought after combat sports in all of Africa. We just saw Shaban knock out Yasanda. Well, win Yasanda, not a knockout. He said he wished to have knocked him out, but we're going to settle for a win. And we're going to the heavy hitters. Garkuwa Dutse versus Yahaya Tarasa in the heavyweight category. Garkuwa Dutse going up against Yahaya Tarasa in the heavyweight category. We'll be seeing that very soon.
Well, you've called them the heavy hitters. Garkuwa Dutse is coming in 78.7 kilograms.
da shi sannan kuma za su maka sabis kyauta sabis kyauta ina ba kitin to
How many more minutes back on break? 90 seconds. 90 seconds to go.
Samu ce ga dala ba mu hanyar nan. Yawa. Samu ce ga dan bara gaba macin nauyi. Shi ne. Dan bara gaba. Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Circuit Fight 12, coming to you live from the UK Belo Art Theatre in Mina, Niger State. We just heard from Shaban, the winner of the last bout in the middleweight category, as we prepare for the heavyweight category, and that is Garkuwa Dutse, the smiling warrior we call him, going up against, of course, the heavy hitter that is Yahaya Tarasa. Garkuwa Dutse, his stats pulling up on the screen: 7 wins, 5 losses, strikes with his left fist, and of course we're yet to see his opponent come up. But Garkuwa Dutse made it to the final of the first heavyweight championship. Unfortunately, he lost that to Dogo Metakwasana in Lagos, but we are seeing him wrap up his Kara fist now as we see his opponent. Yeah, his opponent right there, Yahaya Tarasa, just got promoted last season into Dambe Warriors League. So we don't know much about him, but of course he won his first match, so it's something to look forward to. Currently, Garkuwa Dutse is ranked in 4th place, and Yahaya Tarasa is in 2nd place. Mr. Ibn, what are your prospects for this match?
Well, I think Yahaya Tarasa would have probably the greater impetus, the greater motivation, because should he win, he will be clearing his chances to get up the rankings to number 1, while the position or the 2nd position. So, in terms of motivation, Yahaya Tarasa might have the edge, but that is just semantics.
Yes.
We're just talking academic grammar. The real
when they're in the ring, it's all about the courage, the fight, and the dog.
Yep.
And as we see Yahaya Tarasa come out with his headgear as well. 1 fight this season and 1 win. No career knockouts yet, but he stands at 6'11", striking with his right fist, and of course weighs 77 kg. Yahaya Tarasa, a brutal warrior. I saw him coming through the ranks, the promotional fight in Nasarawa, and he was just spectacular. Garkuwa Dutse, a lot much better in season 1 than season 2, but we're hoping to see. I mean, this is a new hairdo that he's sporting. Usually he's just got his normal.
The most fanciful hairdo of all. We've seen others with dyed hair, one way or the other, but this is the most fanciful, and he's coming up against someone with a headgear.
Yes, we're going to see whose head is going to really, turn up today. Yahaya Tarasa tying up his Kara fist there, As we see the stats of both fighters, Dutse is of House Kudu and Tarasa is of House Gurumara. So far today, House Kudu, well, haven't really been the best because, no, they have done good. I mean, we saw Zazu knockouts, was a big upset. So if they're to follow in the same footing, maybe we'll see a knockout or win against Yahaya Tarasa. We're yet to find out, but round one is up on the way as we see our queen there go around with the signboard for round one. Yahaya Tarasa cooling off himself. Kurawa Dutse up against Yahaya Tarasa. A lot of concentration needed by both the fighters here. I reckon that Tarasa doesn't finish this match with his headgear on. But that is just my take. We're yet to find out. Advancing there by Dutse as Yahaya Tarasa corners his opponent. A nice overhand there as Dutse throws himself, but is expertly evaded by Tarasa. Another lunge there by Tarasa to the torso of his opponent. Kurawa Dutse now doing all he can to stand on his toes as we see Yahaya Tarasa grow into this game. Kurawa Dutse throwing himself. Both of these fighters really just giving it their best. What do you say about the strategy for Tarasa in this match, Mr. Aben?
Well, Tarasa appears to have a strategy of blocking any intended shots from his opponents before replying, and basically I think they are deploying the same tactics. You see, they use their free hands to try to distract the opponents. As we take the bell for the end of the first round, you discover that hardly have any punches actually been given.
Connected, yes. Yes, very well said, Mr. Aben. Both of these fighters going with a strategy. As you can see, the coach yelling at Tarasa there. You have to give it more than just lunging. You have to be strategic with your punches as they get ready for round two. Kurawa Dutse, also known as the Smiling Warrior, is now in battle with Yahaya Tarasa. Round two, we're going to see what happens in this bout.
Well, the smiles from the Kurawa Dutse have really not been coming. Tarasa is neither smiling nor giving any quarter.
Round two is underway. 15 seconds already gone. As we see Dutse getting pummeled by Tarasa, but moves out of the way quickly. Tarasa advancing. And you can see both fighters just throwing the jabs. Now Dutse is on the run, struggling to stand, stumbling in the middle of the ring as Tarasa now holds on and just lunges the attack. Oh my word, Dutse is all over the place right now. The fans are loving what they're seeing, cheering. Yahaya Tarasa seems to be growing in confidence in this game, seems to be growing in power, as Dutse still stands his ground, not falling to the canvas yet.
Well, Tarasa had an advantage there.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was just going to finish the job there, but he allowed his opponent Dutse to, come out of it. He might just rue this opportunity.
Well, we're yet to find out. 35 seconds left on the clock in round two, as Kurawa Dutse re-strategizes to try and find a way to get something out of this second round. It's been all Yahaya Tarasa in round two. Both fighters now very, very concentrated on the job at hand. 3 seconds left in round 2. And there we go, end of round 2. Yahaya Tarasa giving it a bit more dog, a bit more aggressiveness, you know, as opposed to what we saw in round 1.
Most certainly this round has seen more action than round 1, and Yahaya Tarasa has been the more aggressive of the fighters. Garkuwan Duse, as we see here, has been at the receiving end, and one would have thought that Yahaya Tarasa was just going to finish him off, but one must praise the resilience of the Duse chap for being able to, stand up to it. He never, went down,
yes,
and he survived the round. But the points, I'm afraid, would have gone the way of Yahaya Tarasa.
Yahaya Tarasa, very well said. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn. It's been all Yahaya Tarasa, but we'll see exactly what Garkuwa Dutse will produce in this third round.
So, Kola, the scenario now is that Garkuwan Dutse must go all out and see if he can dominate Yahaya Tarasa in this round, dominate him efficiently as to cancel out what happened in the second round. Otherwise, he will have to go for a straight knockout. Otherwise, if they go on an even kill, each one being very, very careful, the fight might just end up going the way of Yahaya Tarasa.
Very, very correct, sir. Very, very correct. Dutse has nothing to lose here because all his cards are out. He has to produce something spectacular here. Garkuwa Dutse, the smiling warrior, not smiling as of now. Yahaya Tarasa, really looking like a policeman in this bout. The first fight of the heavyweight division. 46 seconds left on the clock in this third round. Garkuwa Dutse versus Yahaya Tarasa, who has done a lot more damage in round 2. Garkuwa Dutse now bobbing and weaving. If it doesn't produce anything spectacular, unfortunately, it might be all Tarasa. Both of them very, very wary of what's to come. And that is the end of round 3. They gave it their best, and to find out whose best was just enough.
Dambe Warriors, Ogun, Dambe Warriors, Rivers, Dambe Warriors, Delta, Dambe Warriors, Inugu, Dambe Warriors. Ga sako tana ana bikin juwa babu zani za ta juya ya hayyan Tarasa yana da koyi 87.
The official scoreline now reaching us. Yahaya Tarasa 87 points and Garkuwa Dutse 84. It's just been announced as the winner. Garkuwa Dutse disappointed with the result, but of course smiling as he always does. Garkuwa Dutse, the smiling warrior as he's known, just lost now to Yahaya Tarasa.
gaskiya na ji daɗi sosai kuma na gode ma Allah da goyon wannan rana da cire garkuwar dutse sannan ni kaina na san Allah ya yarda don ma bai tsayi ne da buge shi zai ma insha Allah na sani to gaba fa ba lau ta hada kuma yi za a yi Allah ya yarda muna fatan nasara da masoyan Allah
to masoya da suka tattafa maka da sauran yan dambe menene sakonka
ina fata da kowa zo lafiya Allah ya mai da shi lafiya yana iyalin shi wanda bar sana'a shi kuma ya zo wurin mu wurin neman sana'a mu shi ma Allah ya kiyaye shi ya kare shi mun gode.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yahaya Tarasa is very happy that he has secured victory. He thanks Allah for giving him victory, and he thinks he is going to continue marching on. He wishes every spectator that has come here a safe journey back to your respective destinations. I want to remind boxers here, and then the ana mukutini, babu wande har yanzu ya ci 40,000 sai sau daya. Ana neman knockout, me kuke jira? Ku ake jira? Allah ya bada sa'a. Kola, we are going to the next set of the big hitters, so we wish them luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. As you've just heard, we're going into the next set of heavyweight. And the next set is Dogon Shamsu versus Dogo Metakwasara. Dogon Shamsu of House Jamus, and of course, Dogo Metakwasara of House Gurumada. Dogon Shamsu, you can see. Dogon Shamsu gyrating and getting the energy up here with the drummers in the arena.
I know the musician is too loud. I beg.
Dogon Shamsu now getting gyrated by the drummers and the singers in the arena as he takes off his robe to wrap his fist for the last time. His opponent, Dogo Metakwasara, the current champion of the heavyweight category, albeit losing his last match in Katsina. I'm sure Dogo Metakwasara must be ready for this bout. But Dogo Shamsu has put up a very, very formidable run. If you remember, he got into Dambe Warriors in season 1 after Hussein, the fighter from Saudi Arabia, left. As you can see, Dogo Metakwasara now running into the arena to a lot of cheers, a lot of noise from the audience here at the UK Bello Theatre. Dogo Metakwasara. What did you say Metakwasara means again?
That's a rather long, unwinding name. But what I understand it to be is that it's a tall man that can bend things.
Interesting.
Yes.
You really?
This is a battle of the tall ones. There is Dogo Shamsu and Dogo Metakwasara. This is Metakwasara, very experienced boxer. He has had 13 fights so far by the records, winning 10 and losing 3. But very importantly, you say he is the defending champion.
Yes, he is.
But he lost his last fight.
His last fight, yes. So he'll be eager to get back to winning ways.
Yeah.
He, although quite controversially, lost his last fight against Sandai in Katsina State. But yeah, he's back in Mina amongst very familiar faces. As you can see, the fans love him here. So we're going to see what he produces against Dogo Shamsu. Dogo Shamsu, as I said earlier, is very familiar with his opponent because they've been doing this for 3 seasons now. Round 1 is underway.
The battle of the tall ones. Dogo Shamsu, Dogo Metakwasara. Dogo Shamsu in blue, Dogo Metakwasara. What does touching their legs indicate?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think it's just a cultural thing because they like to rub the sand maybe against their palm to have better grip. Or it could just be something that they like to do, honestly. I have no idea.
Well, I guess we better find out and let the viewers know.
Yes, we
would. Some
would.
point in time we need to find out.
We would. As we can see here, Dogo Shamsu starting this proceeding with a lot more advancing, but just got jabbed there by Metakwasara and stumbled a little to the back there. Dogo Shamsu must be wary of Metakwasara's longer reach. He has a long arm that he uses very effectively, as you can see him holding off Shamsu there.
That leg touching again.
Yeah, that's the same thing there. Shamsu all over the place right about now as Dogo Metakwasara launches a nice overhand. You can see the coaches screaming in the back. 59 seconds left on the clock in this round one. Nice action, the fans loving it. Shamsu going back into the game. Metakwasara using his longer arms, holding off his opponent. Punch to the torso. Very funny, the last time these two met, Dogo Shamsu said that. Wonderful! A knockdown to the amazement of the crowd. Dogo Shamsu has just knocked to the ground. Dogo Metakwasara has just knocked to the ground Dogo Shamsu. And he saw there with a very nice gesture, picking his opponent back up, but that must be it. 5 seconds gone off the clock, and we've just witnessed a wonderful knockout by Dogo Metakwasara. Oh my word! What a punch! We're seeing the replay there. Punch to the torso, followed by another punch to the torso, as we see that wonderful connecting punch to the side of the face by Dogo Metakwasara, who has been using his longer reach to his advantage all through the match. And you can just see the excitement within the fans here. Amazing, amazing knockout by Dogo Metakwasara, showing exactly why he is the current champion, the defending champion.
Akwai fara tsakanin Ali Kalin Bello da Alasan Shagon Bago 'yan sanda na gosu fara tashi.
What a wonderful match as we see the opponent, getting interviewed by Mr. Eben Mohammed.
To ai wasa ce haka ta gada, kuma in ka duba wannan wasan da Allah ya bar nasara Lagos, wasan farko Lagos sai da aka cire ni, amma da yake rabo ne Allah ya kawo sai da naji. To ko yanzu ban cire rai ba, Allah ya ba mu sa'a da rabo.
To Dogo Metakwasara has been very, very happy, and he has won. He's one of the stars of this particular bout. We go on to the very last bout now. Kola.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed. We've just heard from Dogo Metakwasara, which means he heaviest fighters in Dambe Warriors League. Sandai getting the crowd riled up with his green hair that he sports. See some comments here on our Facebook. Abubakar Ibrahim, you did call out the knockout for Dogo Metakwasara, and that's exactly what happened. Big win for Shaban today. Congratulations to Yarmage and his fans. Yes, Yarmage did win his fight, but we are down to our last fight today, and that is between Ali Kanin Bello and Yan Sanda. Keep the comments coming. Hamza Umar says they will take revenge from Magi. All right, we'll be seeing that in the next coming weeks. Ali Kanin Bello, you can see right there on your screens, weighs 104 kg, the heaviest fighter in Dambe Warrior League, with a reach of 5'10", strikes with his left fist, has a career record of 6 wins and 6 losses. This season has fought just once and unfortunately lost that one. Keep the comments rolling in. On YouTube, we can see your comments as well. A lot of condolences to Ramadan, but round 1 is underway here. Yansanda versus Ali Kanin Bello. Both of House Jamus as Yansanda throws a nice kick to Ali Kanin Bello, who repels it with his heavy body. Ali Kanin Bello, eager to get back to winning ways. Made it to the final last season, but lost to Dogon Itakwazara, who just saw knock out Dogon Shamsu. A nice pommel there to the face by Yasanda as he now gets pommeled by Ali Kanin Bello, but expertly evades that. A lot of credit to Yasanda for getting himself out of that precarious situation. Exactly 59 seconds left on the clock as Ali Kanin Bello advances again. The weather in the arena now getting a lot darker with the rain looking, but Yasanda is all over the place, running away from his opponent as Ali Kanin Bello chases. Now the grapple in place, but the referee separates. You can see the sky is now darkening as we witness this last bout. 30 seconds left in this round 1. The fans pretty much up on their feet now, enjoying what they're seeing here. Ali Kanin Bello looking to assert dominance, but Yansanda is in no way giving that up at all. A lot of jeers there from the fans, and that is the end of round 1 as the bell goes. Ali Kanin Bello asserting, showing why he is one of the most fearsome Dambe warriors, but Yasanda is not letting up at all. As we see some of the fans in the stadium, in the arena, moving out of the way of the rain. Round 2 is underway. Ali Kanin Bello versus Yasanda. You see Ali Kanin Bello again grappling onto his opponent, holding him under the shoulder as the referee separates. Pushing out of the line, they're back into the ring. Yasanda giving it his best, but Ali Kanin Bello just seems too strong. The overhead skies providing a nice contrast between the fighters and the background. Kanin Bello doing his best to assert dominance here. The wind adding to the atmosphere. Ali Kanin Bello, you can see now on the back foot, but still very much in this game, as we see Yasanda running all over the place, trying to evade the attack of Ali Kanin Bello. Yasanda with the green hair, sporting both of them of House Jamus. But right about now, we have 26 seconds left on the clock as we see Ali Kanin Bello still stand his ground. The winds are picking up now, but these fighters are still in the thick of things. 5 seconds left on the clock. Yasanda trying as he salutes Ali Kanin Bello. But that is the beauty of this sport. Even with the wind picking up, these warriors are still going at it. A bit worrisome for some of the people in the ring, but we are very fine. It's just a lot of wind now in the air. The bell goes for third round. Round 3, Sandai versus Ali Kanin Bello. Our last bout here at the Circuit Fight 12 in Mina, Niger State, the UK Bello Art Theatre. 20 seconds gone in this round 3 as Ali Kanin Bello seems to be all over Sandai. Sandai has to re-strategize and go for something more spectacular, because right now he's playing into the hands of Ali Kanin Bello. Dambe Warriors, most sought after martial arts combat in all of Africa. Both of the fighters now eyes locked on each other. Ali Kanin Bello blocking off Sandai's attack. Ali Kanin Bello stepping back just to assess the situation as he tries again. Sandai to get something out of it. The referee comes into the middle, resets the game. Both of them in blue trunks. 25 seconds left on the clock. Ali Kanin Bello was being all over Sandai. Sandai lucky to still be in this game, evading attacks as you see the grapple again from Ali Kanin Bello. Sandai was attempt something spectacular. Let's go for the jugular at this point if he's to get anything out of this game. But that is it. It's all over here at the UK Bello Theatre. Now we wait for the judges to announce the winners. Ali Kanin Bello has just been announced the winner with 87 points to 84. And thank you very much for watching. That has been our show today. Circuit Fight 12 from Niger State, Mina, at the UK Bello Theatre. We saw a big upset. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibn Mohammed. It's been a long time coming for Ali Kanin Bello, who made the final last time, but will be looking to get back again to at least clinch victory.